Pools are opening in New York City this week, and with the summer season starting up, that brings the importance of water safety really top of mind. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says drowning is the #1 cause of unintentional death in the U.S. for children under 5 years old. Joining me now is Stu Leonard Jr. and his wife, Kim Leonard, who founded the Stu Leonard III Water Safety Foundation in memory of their son who lost his life in a drowning accident when he was only 21 months old. Thank you both for being here. You know, you think about something happening to you 30 years ago, but I can't imagine as a parent, it's probably unimaginable the grief that you carry with you for the rest of your life. Take me back to that day. What was it like?
I mean, it's very, very difficult to handle it. Every time there's a birthday, you're always thinking of your son. And you know what our goal today is just to really help the parents and the grandparents that are out there listening now to realize they're in a danger zone right now. When you get the pools opened up like that and you start doing outdoor barbecues, and it's really fun. You're outside, but you have that little toddler. And
they move so fast.
And you have a 3 to 5 year old, right?
And it's like you constantly, it's in 1 second something
They're up in
can
a tree somewhere.
Yeah,
you know?
and you know, we talk about some of the statistics. 25 seconds, it can take just 25 seconds for a child to drown. And I mean, people are on their phones now and distracted all the time. Do you feel as though that's contributing to a lot of the accidents that are happening? Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. That is huge. And I think for us, the day that our son drowned, we were getting ready for our daughter's birthday party, and there were 6 other adults, aunts and uncles, other cousins. I was inside baking the cake. Stu was hanging up balloons, and we never said to each other, like, "You've got him." Like, I thought,
assigning a role.
Exactly, and that, if anything, my message would be to make sure that whenever you're near any type of water, the beach, a pool, that somebody knows they're the watcher, they're the designated watcher.
And this is something we've seen in the news recently as well. We've had Olympic gold medalist Bodie Miller lost his daughter, country singer Granger Smith, 3 years old, his son drowned. When you hear about other tragedies, does it make you more determined to make sure that your mission and education is out there?
It does. It's almost like you just took a side there, and that's what happens when we hear about that, because it is preventable. And the one thing, the Red Cross told us one slogan there one day. They said, it's not a lack of supervision, it's a lapse of supervision.
It's true.
And you know, Kim's real big now on the cell phones, because everybody's on their cell phone. They think they're watching their child around the pool, but as you said, it's so quick. So really just be high on alert. Now, one of the things Kim and I did, this is sort of therapy maybe to do it, but we just started this book 25 years ago, Stewie the Duck Learns to Swim. You can get it online at stewietheduck.org, and it's only $5. And it teaches a little kid 3 valuable lessons, and that's one is to take swimming lessons. The second is to always wear a life vest, and the third is never go into the water without an adult.
How soon do you recommend children start getting swim lessons?
Well, you know what? Kim and I recommend that it's not swimming, it's floating. Like Bodie Miller's wife always talks about it, and same with our son. If he just learned how to flip over on his back, this tragedy might have been avoided. So if you can get them in the water and used to the water and teach them how to float like that, you can start that. I have friends that are doing it at 6 months right now.
I'm originally from Florida, and it is very common there that you see the 6 months old in the little pool swimming. So it's something that really any age, I think, can be beneficial for.
Right, and about 3 years ago, we did this board book, because all of a sudden what I realized was, with my son, I was like worried about him putting small objects in his mouth and choking and sticking his finger into the lights. And I thought, I never saw the danger of water. I grew up in California. I spent my life going to a lake. I learned how to water ski when I was 4. I mean, why did I not see that as a danger? Because it was always something that brought me so much joy. I didn't realize how quickly that could all change. And so I just thought if parents could just start having that conversation when their child is 15 months old, how important it is whenever you're near water to be with an adult.
And we talk about pools opening across New York City Thursday. You have a couple of additional safety tips. I know you mentioned some of them, but let's just go ahead and put them up there. It's really important that everyone can read exactly. Why don't you go ahead and go through some of the things that you think?
What we did, we took what our goal we found is not so much trying to teach the parents, but the kids.
Okay.
That's why we wrote this book. Now, in it, we have a little song, to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And the kids start singing this. They go, don't jump in till you learn to swim. We do this at the high schools. You know, I'm in the kindergarten and preschools, cover your chest with a Safe Life vest. And then I always tell them to give that Halloween look, you know, like grown-up must watch you in the pool. And you'll be safe if you learn these rules. I think those three things, get them to swim, always put some type of life-saving device on them when you're around the water, and make sure, like Kim mentioned, an adult is always watching the child all the time.
After all these years, how are you guys?
We still argue. We've been married 36 years.
That's what she was asking.
No, you know
I
what?
think that I always want to say to people, it's always there, but you are able to move on and
Have to try to forgive yourself?
and be happy. Yes, forgive yourself, and when you love someone, there's hope and love, and
Yeah.
I just pray that I will be with him someday. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for being here.
And we reach out to a lot of parents that have had tragedies. We try to help and counsel them a little bit through that very, very difficult, you know, several years that they have. So
Well, you're doing
it's hard.
such good
It's hard.
work now.
Kim's a
in
big
his
supporter.
memory.
We spend our life on this, just trying to teach. You know, if we could save one child, that's our mission. I
That's
think.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you both. Thank
Okay,
you so
thank you
much.
for-
Thank you for the opportunity.
Be safe.
Thank you.